Hello friends! I hope you're all doing very well. Today is a very special day for me, not only because I've done 2 videos this week, and not only because the day of recording marks 4 months with Wesley, but also because my beloved showcase, Rennock Hilt, turned 3 years old today. Woo! To celebrate, I'm going to talk a little bit about what this showcase actually is and how it was made. Let's get started. In an alternate universe, where fantasy-killing religion is banned, the known world is filled with many species of mythical creatures, one of which are the centaurs, which live up north in the snowy region of Sabokent, which translates to the strong country. The law of the known world states that integration is assassination. All cultures stay to themselves and they do not impeach on each other. For that reason, centaurs are forbidden from entering non-centaur regions, and humans are forbidden from entering Sabokent. All but a few. Rennock Hilt is a human outpost situated in Sabokent for the sole purpose of maintaining good relations with the centaurs. It is essentially the human embassy in a country that's not for humans. It is an outpost filled with representatives of humanity, scientists, scholars, and the occasional aristocrat. Rennock Hilt is named after its founder, Gabriel Rennock, and is situated directly on the sacred road that all centaurs run through as part of a traditional event. The layout of this stationing is described as looking like the hilt of a sword, thus the name Rennock Hilt. Every season, a chain of caravans travel up to Rennock Hilt from Westcliff. It contains luxuries like duck, biscuits, silk, perfume, tools, and tinned goods. However, for the rest of the season, the inhabitants of Rennock Hilt are required to survive off of the land. Farming, hunting, fishing, clothes making, and food preserving is all part of the daily life of the humans that live here, along with their primary goal of culture research and maintaining good relations. There is so much more than what I've been able to talk about today, such as the symbol of Sabokent, the centaur representatives that live on site, and the culture of the centaurs. Perhaps I can talk more about it next year, but for now, how about I show you how the game was made? From what I remember, Rennock Hilt never really had a thought-out plan for what it was going to be and how it would be made. All I knew is that there were no detailed snowy showcases on Roblox at the time, so I wanted to make one. I suppose the biggest inspiration for what I wanted this showcase to look like was this painting, titled The Hunters in the Snow by Peter Bruegel the Elder. It depicts a rather difficult winter in Belgium, and while the painting itself is not in this showcase, similar works by the same artist are. There's this one here, and then there's also one up here too. This showcase was released in segments over the span of many months. I started with the road and gate in late 2022, and then I made Faladonstead, this house here. The key house was made shortly after, and the final expansion included the workshop, and this was completed in early 2024. I didn't use any references for the terrain itself. I just worked with the limited snowy meshes that I had. However, every single building was based on a reference, and some of the interiors were too, like the kitchen in Faladonstead and the living room in Shelter Workshop. I love this showcase. The building quality itself is a little aged, with certain measures that feel a little bit out of place or don't quite match with the style. However, I do believe that the overall style of this build is very unique and something that I haven't seen on Roblox. The only thing I truly dislike about this showcase is the size. The entire project took over a year to make, and so there did come a point where I was very much ready to move on to something else. This unfortunately meant that the idea of an entire outpost had to be scrapped, and there's only 3 buildings in this showcase. It's a real shame, but I'm glad I did it because the later showcases that I would make turned out to be just as amazing as this one. Many people mistake this showcase for a horror game, and I can totally see it. The sounds of the early morning wildlife and the somewhat empty feel of the world can make the game feel quite eerie. Along with this, the day-night cycle of this game includes music which also changes depending on the time. And the nighttime music in particular is really creepy. Rennock Hilt was scripted by 3 people, and none of them were me. I don't script. A few people have asked why I don't just have one scripter, and it's simply because all 3 of my scripters were commissioned. They're freelance, so they would all have times where they were free and times where they weren't free. If any one of them was busy, I'd just get another one to fill in. TripTrap84 scripted the front gate and all of the sound regions. If you've ever noticed the sounds of the wildlife disappearing when you enter a building, that was him. TripTrap also scripted a rudimentary version of the day-night cycle, which was was ported in from Sanctuary, which was later redone. Quantum Maniac is a very skilled scripter that made the systems for the opening and closing of the doors. He also did the candles and the fireplaces as well. And finally, when both of my scripters were unavailable, I called upon my one true hero, my dad. That's right, my dad knows Luau, and he mainly fixed leftover bugs in my game, but he did also script some things for himself, such as the bell. My favorite bug that we had in Rennock Hilt was the infinite night bug. When midnight struck, instead of the clock resetting back to 0000 like it's supposed to, it would go to 2400, a time that doesn't exist. Then an hour would pass, 2500, 2600, etc. The map was infinitely midnight and it was horrifying. Shout out to my dad for fixing that one. Alright, we're running out of time for this one, so I'll give one more cool fact. Rennock Hilt is my all-time favorite showcase. It contains all of the things I love. Winter, pine forests, wooden houses, cozy interiors, calming music, and the game was made during a period of my life where I was struggling to figure out what I wanted my life to be. Rennock Hilt was an escape from the real world, and an escape for many other players too. It has never done anything wrong, I've never stopped enjoying it, and I love to talk about it and show it off, even to this day, 3 years later. Rennock Hilt has taught me a very valuable lesson. You don't get creative block when you're working on something you genuinely love. Even to this day, I still make little tweaks and the occasional addition where possible. Find what brings you joy and passion and really hone in on it. Your masterpiece is something that feels like a second home in your heart. You feel belonging in that place and it empowers you when you work on it. I know these birthday videos don't do the numbers that this channel can get, but these are the videos that I enjoy making above all of the others. Before I got this community, this was the content that I was making, because this is the source of my passion, talking about the things that I've made and showing off what Roblox has been able to do for me. If you're still watching at this point, I want to deeply thank you for being just as interested in this stuff as me, and I hope you can show off your projects too. A huge happy birthday to my beloved Rennock Hilt. I've been Hollis Holly, and I will see you on Friday. Bye. Oh my
I saw
goodness.
a close-up of you getting